video I'm going to explain to you, typically why men watch porn and how you can overcome your porn addiction and start really feel good about yourself and be successful in your life and get a successful relationship with your ideal woman, girlfriend, and also be a better person in life in general and be successful in any area. So if you're new to my YouTube channel, subscribe if you want to build more confidence and learn to control your fear and your anxiety in any area of your life. Excuse me. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I'm really generous and a lot of free advice on tips and many good advice, and I answer questions as well on how you can build confidence and control anxiety, so you can follow me there. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. And I hope you enjoy this video. It's going to be a lot of good value, and I'm really excited to have this interesting conversation with you because I've made lots of video on how to quit porn and they've done really well. Right, I just realized that, sometimes when we think about porn and quitting porn, it's so common now, the porn addiction, and there is almost a porn pandemic there is around the world, that I think a lot of people, a lot of men have lost focus on, what is the root cause of the issue. And I believe the root cause of the reason why men get addicted to porn, and the fundamental negative root cause, is not believing that you're good enough to get the results that you want in your life. And I suppose most of it is around relationships with women, but I would say it goes even further than that, because real damaging self-esteem issues and low confidence, they really do affect every area of our life if we don't change them. So looking back when I had my porn addiction, is for all the reasons that I'm going to explain in the video, and seeing how that I overcome it and really got success with my relationships with women and got a girlfriend, and never felt the need to watch porn for many years. Obviously I watched it at some point again in the future, but for a long time I didn't watch it. I might have watched it when I got into a bad place and broken up, but we'll come to that in a second. That's not really my point for now. My point is explaining to you and also how you overcome it. So let's just go into the mindset, right, to understand. I really am a believer in understanding the problem, so then we can find a solution fast. And I'm not one that likes to obsess over the problem and dwell on it, because some people can do that. And I've done that at some points, and that can be very unhealthy. It's like you're in therapy forever. Not that there's enough, therapy can be great. What I mean by that term is all you're doing is just talking about the issue. And I think real good therapy is where you do talk about the issue to get things out, which is so therapeutic, but you come up with a solution, an action plan, which is what my teaching is about, what we're going to do today. And I really want to know how dedicated you are, and if this information, I know this information is going to help you, but it's would you apply it? And you guys can communicate in the box below. So I know the mindset for me when I used to watch that, for a lot of guys, is when we watch that, a lot of it is I can't deal with my problems, right? And our problems are always our fears as men, our insecurities, our demons, our responsibilities, and our dreams and our desires and our goals. It's all these things wrapped in one, and usually some of the challenges that are going on in our life that we're intimidated by or we're stressed out by, and sometimes world events, there's many different things. So we get stressed, we get stressed out, we get strung out by life, we get stressed with ourselves, with dealing with our emotions. We don't know how to control our emotions. Sometimes we're scared to speak up, we don't want to think that we're not manly, we don't want to be judged, we don't want to show vulnerability. So porn is a way to get that, that release, that little bit of feel-good factor, and it's kind of a way to, some kind of way to rationalize not having a woman, or not having the right relationship, or being single, being lonely, being isolated, not having many friends. It's we're kind of telling ourselves, this is how I'm going to connect today. But underneath that, unconsciously, there's a lot of hurt and pain there. Unconsciously, deep down, do you really think that men, in most cases, all right, I know there's going to be grey area, but do you really think men would want to go on a machine and masturbate to other people making love? When you look at it like that, it's kind of strange, kind of repulsive, right? Do you really think that they want to be? Do you not think they'd rather have a real relationship, have a wife or a girlfriend, someone that they can make love with, that they've got a proper relationship with, real human connection, real touch, intimacy, hugging, all that wonderful stuff that we have as humans? Of course. So why are they not having that? Because they don't believe they're good enough to get that. They don't think women value them. They don't think women find them attractive. And maybe they tried in the past and they failed. They asked women out. They didn't have the confidence. They didn't have the relationship skills. They didn't have the social skills. They didn't know how to build intimate relationships with honest relationships. And they didn't know how to overcome rejection, because we all get rejected. It doesn't matter how good we are, what we've got. At some point everyone gets turned down, but some people don't deal with it well. So it's not being able to deal with rejection. That's a huge part of it. Men are so fearful of opening up to a woman and getting intimate or close or asking a woman out in case they're rejected and hurt, that they'd rather not take that risk and just go to the quick fix. Because okay, watching porn ain't going to solve my problems for the next week, but for now it's going to make me feel good. I need something now. I need that hit. I need that. But then when you watch it, several minutes later or half an hour later, you don't feel good about yourself. For a lot of times you feel ashamed. You regret it. Regret is a horrible feeling. You feel there's a feeling sometimes as well I felt as well of being dishonest. Because a lot of times we kind of wouldn't like the idea of people seeing us doing that, knowing that we do it, even though we know lots of people do it, right? By the way, on this video, I'm not judging anyone who watches porn. I would never do that. I'm helping people because I watched it, so it wouldn't make any sense to do that. I just want to make that clear. I want people to feel like that. Probably a lot of you know I'm not doing that, but some people might misinterpret what I'm saying, right? So, the mental side of it is stressful. It's not just the act of watching porn. It's kind of what comes with that. It's kind of, it's really getting down to the root cause of the problem, and it's dealing with all of our inner voices, our negative conversations, our past, the future. So every time you watch that, unconsciously what you tell yourself is, I'm not good enough to get a woman. I'm not good enough. It's even for some guys to have relationships, friendships, with my fellow man. I'm not good enough to do the job I want. I'm not good enough in life. It comes down with a low self-esteem, not just in relationships with women, but in relation to your relationship with yourself. And it's a coping mechanism, and it's a negative one, and it's a quick fix. It's a quick fix. It's a short-term fix for a long-term disaster, because if it continues, what comes with all addictions? Shame, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, social anxiety, life anxiety, negative thoughts, and that can even progress on, if it's not handled, even to severe mental health issues. For some guys, we know this happens, it needs to be spoken about, committing suicide, suicidal thoughts, tendencies, isolation, paranoia. It can manifest. I'm not saying in every case, I'm not saying every guy who has a porn addiction becomes mentally ill, but it can happen, and it has happened, and it is happening right now. So it's not easy for guys. It's not easy for anyone who's got this addiction, especially if there was a lot of traumatic, negative things that happen when you're younger, like being teased at school, being laughed at, being bullied, and comparing yourself to other people on social media. Men will compare themselves. They might see a picture of a happy couple on Instagram or Facebook with a guy with an attractive girl and an attractive man, or whatever, handsome guy, and they think, oh, look at them. Look at me, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough. So that's being reinforced. So to break out of it needs, obviously, you need courage. You need cojones, but you need desire and dedication. If you haven't got enough desire and dedication and motivation, you won't break the habit. You won't even want to break the habit. I mean, of course, deep down, guys would wish they could break it, but you won't want to actually do it. There's a difference between saying, I wish I could quit my porn addiction, but not doing it, not making any attempt, to someone going, I'm going to do everything, I've had enough, I'm going to quit it. It's going to be hard. Yeah, of course, some days I'll relapse. I'm probably going to watch it again, but I will eventually beat this. So I think you really need to start understanding, what are you losing when you watch that? For one, you're losing out on a great relationship with a woman. For some guys, it's a wife, a family. It can go deep, this stuff. For some guys, it's actually losing out on friendship with a woman, which is something that a lot of guys, I think they value when they get it, but they don't realise it's important to have not just the romantic side, but be able to have intimacy with a woman, friendship, even having a friend, because when you fall in love and you date someone, all the romantic stuff is great, but if you don't have a connection and actually as a friendship, a bond, then it wouldn't be a great relationship. So men are missing out on that, and that's a shame, because a lot of women that want to get to know you and love you and have a relationship with you, but if you don't fix this, they don't know that you exist, and you're not going to be showing up as anything close to the best representation of who you are as a person, as a man, your attractiveness. So that porn's just beating down your attractiveness, probably ruining your sleep pattern, definitely probably doing that, ruining your whole kind of self-image and your beliefs. And if you keep believing negative things, it eventually does manifest out, and it can lessen your physical attractiveness. It can do that. I've seen it happen to me when I've got down in periods of my life, and I've looked like crap because of such negative habits and thinking, as opposed to when I got myself in a good place, I've looked great, I felt great, looked great, felt great, and got great results. So it's really affecting on many different levels. So having the guts to go, because this is what happened to me, I was in my early 20s, and I was like, okay, I was honest with myself in my own head. I was like, why do I watch this? I don't, this is making me feel awful after. I like the excitement before, but it's not worth the consequences. And I'm watching this because I don't believe I can get a girlfriend at this point in my life. And then I'll say, well, why do I believe that when so many guys have got a girlfriend? There's loads of women out there. My parents, women have been telling me, my aunties, my mum, female friends are telling me that you're a really nice guy, you get a girlfriend. I don't believe I can. And the reason I don't believe I can was because in school I failed with girls and I got rejected. So the negative beliefs coming from the past, even though that's well in the past, then I got to a point where I was like, well, maybe I haven't tried enough. Maybe I'm not going out and speaking. And it's not maybe, I'm not going out. Why am I not going out? I'm scared of getting rejected in case. So for me, it was like, I've got to give this a shot. I've got to risk getting rejected because nothing will change for me. So a lot of guys are not social enough. They're not talking to women because that's reinforcing the porn addiction. Because porn loves low self-esteem. It loves a lack of confidence. And it loves procrastination, laziness, whatever you want to call it, bad habits. Because what happens when you watch porn after? You don't feel like talking to people in most cases. You don't even want to go out of the house. You feel depleted, you feel exhausted. Or you may even feel like, oh, I want to watch some more again in a bit. You don't want to go out of the house. You feel uncomfortable around people because of the shame and the kind of self-abuse. So it's really about going, nah, I've had enough, and setting the goal. And the goal could be, it could be a girlfriend. That was my goal. The goal initially is what you need to motivate you to want to get out of the addiction and take the action in the positive way. So what's your goal at the moment? And if you don't have a goal, I don't believe you entirely. I think you haven't set a goal because you've allowed yourself to not believe you're good enough to reach that goal. So sit down, have a think about what your goal is, because that will start pulling you away from the porn addiction. And then it's taking the action. And it's learning how to speak to women with honesty and be attractive and confident and have listening skills and be able to start a conversation and having the confidence to ask a woman out. And then it's also having the confidence to go out and meet people and find your purpose in life as a man, because when you've got a purpose and you've got something that you love, it spreads into every area. Women are certainly more attractive to men who've got something in their life that they love and they're good at and that they're excelling at, or there's something that they're passionate about. So that's very important as well. And then it's the discipline, which I think comes from first setting goals and then taking those small steps and building those positive habits on a daily basis. You can do that also through fitness, which is important. Excuse me. So it's a gradual thing. And I think it's all about little tiny moments of positive breakthroughs. And what I mean by that is when you're trying to come out of an addiction, there's no positive breakthrough at the moment. But when you go in the direction of confronting your fears, which in a lot of guys' cases is talking to women and looking for a relationship, when you have a positive interaction with a girl and she shows interest in you, you like her and she's very receptive, and you have a genuine, honest connection without all of the BS. I don't teach any of that, as you know, tricks, lines, all this. I don't like that stuff. I don't do that on this channel. That's not what I do in my life either. When you have that gives you that feeling of love and confidence and hope and motivation. then to continue. So it's really building on a good habit and building on good experiences. And as you build on more good habits and experiences, you start realizing that I'm not doing this anymore. Why am I going to do this negative habit and watch porn when I can go over and do a positive habit and do the right thing, the natural thing, which is to speak to women in real time. And then if you go on a date, oh, that's a massive breakthrough. And if that date goes well and you continue, then you go into a relationship. Then eventually you've weeded your way out of the addiction and got yourself out of the addiction clean. And you've got the opposite of every addiction, which I think is always a new talent, a new relationship with yourself and another person, or several new relationships, and a new way of behaving. Because of course all these things come down to habits and behaviors and attitudes and mindsets and beliefs and stuff like that. So you have to change yourself, you have to transform. And obviously you do have to kind of like, a part of you does have to die. You do have to kill a bad habit, which is bringing you onto the internet porn sites in the first place. And when you get the real thing, real love, making love with a real person or woman, and you've got a real relationship and intimacy and also friendship, all those different areas of human needs, then there's no hunger or thirst. You don't have that kind of, I don't know if it's the right word, but it feels right now, that kind of greed that I need to feed that, I need that hit, you don't need it because you're so satisfied with a real organic relationship. There's no need. And eventually, and then the confidence comes. The confidence comes because of the new result and because of the new habits. And then the discipline comes, motivation, passion, and so forth. So this is the whole process and how you get out of it, by recognizing it, setting goals, breaking out of it. And also as well, like I said, of course, it's not as easy as it sounds. There's going to be times where you are going to make progress and go back, but you have to not quit. That's what happened to me. There might be a day where things do get the better of you. You've had a good day, another day you've had a bad day, and then you go and watch it again. But you just got to persevere. It's life. It's the same for everyone. No, nothing's just straightforward. Sometimes it is, but in a lot of cases it's not, as you know, especially with relationships and getting out of an addiction. It takes work. But if you get motivated and that work gives you satisfaction, you will not mind putting in the work. You will not have a problem, or you will not begrudge that you've got to work so hard. Because working hard, I think, is the basis. I'm gonna say for men and women, but I would say especially men, right? Obviously, I can only speak from my experience being a man, helping a lot of men. That's the basis of our happiness and self-esteem. Is our work, is our devotion to something. When I say work, I don't just mean like a 9-to-5 job. I do mean that, but I also mean, the work that we work towards something that we enjoy or that we want to achieve. It could be work in gardening, it could be charity work, it could be helping women, men, people. It could be art or making videos or speaking, but something that your work, your passion, your talent, your area of interest, a boxer, fighter, artist, whatever, traveling, doesn't matter how big or small or what specifically it is, that gives you this, I feel good about myself today. I've come home and yeah, it's been productive. I've just done all that. I've helped other people. I'm developing. You need that. That's what gets you out of porn addiction. Because if a man hasn't got work to do or something positive, you just lose purpose. Your body language collapses. Body language is important, by the way. So, I really wanted to get this across because this is what I did first and foremost before I start putting these videos out, educating and teaching people and giving them help. But also, man, you obviously have to forgive yourself. Many times I went back on my word and watched it when I got down, or sometimes I got hurt by a girl or rejected. I'm honest. We're human. We're not perfect. But then I would not quit and eventually get it right. And I haven't watched porn for a very long time. Of course, I'm not perfect. I've said in videos before I could watch it at some point, but I don't feel like it. I'm in a good self-esteem. So you do have to sometimes say, I've got to forgive myself, and that really helps. For some people, I wouldn't be pushy, but obviously I believe in God. I would pray a lot, ask for help. Some people will believe in that. If you don't, I have no problem with that. In your own way. Some people believe in meditating, or I do believe in the power of confession. Telling a friend, and maybe they can say, I've got a problem too, or someone who's beat it, or having a community to talk to, which is why you come on my channel, right? So I really do hope this helped you today, and also I've got other videos on porn addiction. I've got a playlist on YouTube dedicated to that if you wanted to get some other advice, because I do cover different angles, but I wanted to cover this angle today. And as always, let me know in the box below which was the most helpful thing I said today. One thing or several things, I'd love to know. And you can also always ask me questions and have a conversation. We can get like a conversation going in the box below. We can share our experiences. I'm an open person. I've had problems with porn before. I've beaten it. That's why I'm sharing my experience. Again, we're not judging anyone. But if you don't feel like it, I respect that. You might not feel comfortable commenting. You just want to watch the video and get information. Let me know if my other videos have helped you to beat your porn addiction. And let me know if this has given you some confidence with women. I'm going to leave a link as well. It should be an end card of, how to attract women if you don't believe you're good enough. I did a video on that because a lot of guys write me say I think I'm ugly, and that's why I watch porn, because I'm not going to get a girl. You can turn it around, all right? Become fearless, because when you do, your life becomes limitless. I'll see you in the next video.